History remembers a lot of great aircraft, but there's a special place reserved for machines that managed to pull off a revolution. One of those aircraft is the American F-117 Nighthawk. As soon as it took off, it sparked a lot of myths and became a true legend. But first, a little history. The race between aircraft and anti-air systems was going at an extreme pace in the second half of the Cold War. Radar and armament managed to achieve a conceptually new level. Even small maneuverable objects, tens and hundreds of kilometers away, were made possible to detect and destroy. Those new anti-air capabilities were first experienced by American pilots in Vietnam and the Israeli aviation during the Yom Kippur War. Air superiority has always been a key point for the US military, so they definitely needed a completely new plane if it was to survive on a modern battlefield. In the past, aviation used speed and high altitude to penetrate enemy air defenses. Later, they switched to flying at ultra-low altitude and hiding in the landscape instead. But after that, the engineers got down to developing an aircraft that enemy radar wouldn't even be able to spot. Major success was achieved by the team at Skunk Works, a Lockheed division specializing in advanced and sensitive projects. They developed a unique faceted angle shape for the fuselage that reduced the aircraft's radar cross-section and thus the strength of reflected signal. The armament was placed within special bays inside the plane, and a cooling system was installed in the intake to lower the thermal signature of the exhaust. The team at Skunk Works spent around 10 years working on the new technological marvel. 2 of the early prototypes crashed during test flights, but those accidents didn't diminish the confidence of the engineers. On the contrary, the prototypes showed that the path they'd chosen was right. All they needed to do was fix the flight control system to finally teach this hopeless diamond to fly. Hopeless Diamond was the nickname for the prototype of the future legend. The US Air Force accepted the F-117 Nighthawk into service in 1983. The first ever stealth aircraft was extremely advanced, sophisticated, and had an outrageous price tag, so its existence was kept secret from the public. It was also one of the reasons this strike aircraft's designation began with an F, a letter traditionally assigned to fighters. However, staying stealthy in combat turned out to be a bit easier than in civilian life. The secret project spawned a ton of theories about the new American superweapon, and almost turned into an urban legend. In the last years of the Cold War, the US Air Force finally declassified some data on the plane. It was used extensively to deliver strikes at targets in the Persian Gulf, Yugoslavia, and Iraq. Only a single F-117 has ever been shot down by anti-air fire. All the others successfully completed their missions and got back to their respective bases. The first ever stealth aircraft was only retired in 2008. Most of its missions can now be performed by more modern and versatile machines. By the way, stealth technology was widely incorporated into the 5th-generation fighter designs, so that F designation, originally used to obscure the true purpose of the aircraft, now has a reasonable basis.